Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. And today we're gonna be doing the true solo Wythir video. And this is not to step on anybody's toes whatsoever. This is just a result of kind of like a painstaking process, honestly, for me. So what I saw was that Stu Gaming had this video on Wythir, and it claims that, oh, if you build Wythir certain stats, certain speed, you should be able to solo Dragons 20, Dragons 25, and then also Ice Golem 25, right? If you build it exactly the way he said. And then it turns out in the Dragons 25 video or whatever, Stu Gaming had to put a partner in for Wythir. So I figured out a way to get Wythir to truly solo Dragons 25. So we'll just do the run, and I'll talk you through exactly what's going on here. So it's so weird because I posted a screen cap on Reddit and people were going nuts because they're like, oh, just give me the stats, bro. I just want the stats. I just want the sets. I just want the masteries, right? And honestly, for me, there's a little bit of nuance to what I'm trying to do with a build. And it's really hard to put in just like a paragraph or whatever. Because like every mastery kind of has a purpose. Not every mastery, but most of the masteries will have a purpose. The gear sets have a purpose. The stats have a purpose. So one of the things that Stu Gaming right off the bat talks about with the Wythir solo video is that you wanted her on high resistance. And the high resistance actually only comes into play mostly in Ice Golem. So I've yet to actually see Dragons 25 or Dragons 20 have a problem with the resist. So this would be the part in the video where you would probably want to skip forward to the relevant portion, which is fine with me. I'm just going to talk through like how I came up with it, the strategy, and address kind of like the surface criticisms of why even do this in the first place. And I hear you on that. So one of the main draws for me for working on this Wythir solo build, I didn't actually set out to do this because I was going to use Wythir for my clan boss team for this year's 2022 Raid New Game Plus series that I've been doing on my channel, which is basically I'm trying to build a Ultra Nightmare Clan boss team with just free champs, promo champs, guaranteed champs, and fusion champs, right? So I basically did it last year on accident, which is why I'm trying to repeat it this year. If you haven't seen that, check out the Brognimancer videos on my channel. That should like have all my crazy Ultra Nightmare Clan boss team. That's actually pretty decent. It's a 2 key on Ultra Nightmare, 1 key on Nightmare, 1 key on Brutal, all the same speed. And the speed thresholds are pretty low. I have them at 171 and 179 speed. It's really, really good comp, honestly. And it could have been assembled if you played through the fusion events and the guaranteed champ events of last year. And Ninja is not on the comp, so that's another big bonus. Alright, so let's walk through exactly why I think the Wythir solo for me was worth pursuing. Now, first of all, Wythir was a guaranteed champ they offered this year for 15 Sacred Shards. So that was supposed to be like a payoff for the people that have been diamond handing their shards, like hoping for a good guaranteed champ. And by far and away, you could probably say Wythir was the best guaranteed champ we've gotten so far this year. I mean, Godseeker and Nere's definitely up there. But Wythir, just in terms of like how high she can go, like she can play Platinum Arena, obviously she can do these crazy solos. But really, just like as a progression champ and as a champ with endgame potential, Wythir fits both those bills. So I think Wythir was probably the best fusion champs, guaranteed champ that we've gotten so far. And the price was pretty steep. It was 15 sacred shards. So most people could not have gotten her if they're F2P or low spender, which is very understandable. Which is why I'm trying to create this play system where you can hold out on summoning your shards, opening your shards on 2x outside of fusion events or guaranteed champ events, so you could get the maximum value of your shards. So, long story short, I got Wythir from there, and I was like, okay, let's get max value out of her, right? So I saw the Stu Gaming video, I was like, oh, cool. She can solo Dragons 25 and Ice Golem 25 and Dragons 20, so I was like, all right, cool. Just build it the exact same way he builds it. So I kind of build it a little bit modestly at first, like I didn't match the speed exactly. But I did get the HP and the def right, so I was like, what's 40 speed? Like, what's 40 speed? It's not a big deal. It turns out it's a very big deal. It is a very, very big deal that we get the speeds right. Okay, so there is a nuance with Dragon in particular. So, like, Stu explains it like, oh, okay, I'm wiping here. And he goes, if I just bump her HP up to 90k or something, then maybe I can solo. That is categorically wrong from my experience. Because the main problem, as you're seeing right now, is once the dragon does this A2 right here, which is the inhale ability, it sucks your turn meter. But even if you don't have the turn meter on for Wythir, right, let's pause here for a little bit. Alright, so even if you don't have the right stats, quote unquote, the right stats that Stu Gaming put out in that video, there is still a chance you can beat Dragon 25 as long as you get to the Dragon boss. And as long as you build Wythir the way I built her. So the stats actually are more for getting you through the waves. You feel me? So once you get to the boss, Wythir should be able to solo the boss. The problem is, the inhale ability unlocks this scorch ability. The scorch ability, if you can't get that purple life bar down to 0, is going to trigger. And once the scorch ability triggers, no matter what HP you put on Wythir, it's always gonna KO her. I think on the fourth scorch attempt from the dragon, it's gonna KO her. And the way I've found a way around that is, I think, I'm not sure. I think it's based on your max HP, like right there. See? All right. Let's pause real quick. So I'm expecting to beat the dragon from here, right? But right there, you saw that Wythir had like a sliver of life left before she fell over. And the reason why is because I put a blood shield accessory on her. So this is my theory. I'm not sure if this is true. I haven't looked into it, and I don't have any knowledge of source code. I think this scorch ability is based on your... It's like true damage based on your max HP. That's it. That's what I think. And I've never seen it crit. I've never seen it weak hit. When I was out, all my testing was done on Dragons 20, by the way. I've never seen it crit. I've never seen it weak hit. And it always went in like... It always went up in increments that was predictable based on my current max HP. So I think that right there was my max HP, and then the only reason I lived was because I had a little bit of shield left over from the blood shield amulet I had on. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter, and you don't really need to have Wythir have any books on her. You don't need any resist on her. Hi, baby. I love you.
I want you now.
Huh?
And my channel.
Oh, I know. I love you so much, girl.
And I just sit you down.
Yeah, it's time to go to bed, okay?
And I just roll out.
Huh? It's time to go to bed, baby. You made a ball?
Yeah.
Oh, so cute. I love you.
I'm about with mommy.
Huh? You're waiting for mommy? Mommy's gonna go up soon.
Oh.
So, there you go. There's the victory at stage 25, and the run times is definitely one of the big, like, oh my god, why are you even doing this? The run times are crazy. 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, however long the run time is, right?
I want wow. And I want cake.
It's not really the point of why I did this in the first place. One is I can farm Dragon 25 a lot faster if I really wanted to. And I don't really farm Dragon 25. That's the thing, because I'm trying to be efficient on points usually, because I do it on like fusion events and stuff. So usually I just do 20 or 24. So for the most part, I've been doing 24 recently. It just kind of like is the midway point between getting more 6-star legendary gear and then being efficient with your energy. But for the max 6-star legendary gear, you're gonna have to play Dragons 25. Everybody knows that. So stage 25 is the best max drops for legendary gear, right? So what did I do exactly with Wythir? One is you don't have to book her out at all, because all she's gonna do is put the A1 on over and over again, and that should be able to get you through. So here are the stats. So the lowest speed I had on her with a clear, I think, was 250 something. So I think the speed could be a lot lower. So maybe like 240 for Dragons 20, maybe like 250 for Dragons 25. I'm not sure on the speed number. So I had her clear on 240, I had her clear on 270, I had her clear on 250. The reason why the speeds have been so different is because I've been fiddling with it to try to get her resist up above 300. So her aura actually is a resist aura. So that's how you get it. Right? So it's toxic. You get toxic up to 250 speed-ish. 300 resist is optional. That's for Ice Golem. There is a caveat though, and there's a reason why maybe you're better off doing Stu's build, honestly. For stage 25, Ice Golem and Dragon 25, if that's a thing for you. For me, I don't think Ice Golem 25 is that important, but I will show you Ice Golem 25, right, whatever. It's basically the same thing. And the point here is that you just need enough HP and defense to get you through the waves. That's it. Once you're through the waves, it's a dragon, and you should be able to take down the dragon before he uses Scorch, I think 5 times. I didn't really count, but you know, I'm guesstimating that it's about 5 times. I feel like it's 25% of your max HP. It grows up in 25% increments, so you go like 25, 50, 75, 100. And then the next one is going to be like more. I feel like that's how they did it, but I'm not sure. So she has this aura, right? And the aura is a resist aura. So it's great for Ice Golem. Like I said, resist isn't needed at all in Dragons 25 if you're just wanting to do Dragons 25. But this is, I think, practically important to copy all the way through. Like, there's definitely some things you can do without, like Grim Resolve. You could probably do without that. Yeah. But in general, you want Whirlwind of Death and you want Spirit Haste. So maybe there is a build that you can forego Spirit Haste and you can have Lasting Gifts and Master Exer at the same time. So Spirit Haste gives you an extra 24, right? So I'm actually not sure. Maybe I can build her to forego Spirit Haste so I can at least have those extra, the chance for the extra buff timers, right? And then these two are very important: rapid response and arcane celerity. So you get more turn meter every time your debuff or buff expires. So that's it. War Master is kind of essential for the Dragon's 25 build. So far from all my testing, I've only been able to mitigate the Scorch ability from the dragons with the defense tree. All right, and from the defense tree, I'm thinking it's probably delayed death that does it. Reduce the damage the champion receives from a specific enemy by 0.75 each hit up to 6%. So, you know, this could be it. I'm not sure, but I always have delay death on all my defense tree builds, and that was the only time that I was able to see that 4th or 5th Scorch that's supposed to be 100% of my HP go significantly below 100%. So I had a pretty sizable chunk of life left. So the only issue here is that I won't deal enough damage with just... Okay, so why do you pick Master Hexer? Master Hexer gives you a chance to put an extra turn on your debuff, which is what the Toxic set does. So you Toxic set, get an extra debuff turn for the Master Hexer. And the crazy part here is that Master Hexer and Defense Tree alone, so support Defense Tree alone, you won't deal enough damage before the over 100% HP Scorch comes out. And that's been my experience. I don't know if you guys can build your Wythir so she can blast through it, but for me specifically, I just haven't been able to figure it out. So her Wythir's damage is not very good. Even with 100% crit, maybe like 150, 200% crit damage, you're dealing maybe like 5,000 to 7,000 per hit, you know. So it's not she's not necessarily a damage dealer per se, but if you combine War Master with the Master Hexer ability, you should deal enough damage to kill the dragon before the time is up. So the crazy part here is that your run times, because you're dealing like enemy percentage HP damage, right, with War Master and poisons, the run times are gonna all be similar, whether you're doing Dragon's 20 or you're doing Dragon's 20 or you're doing Dragon's 25. So the run times are long, of course, because it's Wythir. I mean, she's not necessarily a solo champ. Her best role, the consensus for her best role is Platinum Arena. So why did I build her as a solo champ? Okay, so when you are an F2P low spender, and I don't think this has to be spelled out, right? Most of us, if not all of us, will never compete in Platinum Arena. A lot of us are probably stuck in Gold 1 or Gold 2 right now, you know? And it's true. That's why finding utility for these champs that you get, no matter if it's not the best, this is what I want to like decouple from my audience, because I have a different like subset of raid players that watch my content and listen to my show here, and that these players tend to either be low spenders or free to play. And to me personally, I don't give a crap if you spend money or not in the game. It's your money, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. I can afford to spend money on this game, obviously, but you know, I'm having a hard time justifying it personally, in my opinion. But I have spent money on the game. I gave a gift card away to one of my readers, and I explicitly asked him to spend it on the game. So, you know, in terms of me giving back money to the game, I've done that. And that's not the point, really. If you're free to play, whatever, you're giving the game attention, the player base. You know, the game gets something from you, whether you play free to play or you spend thousands of bucks on the game. My point is that for the F2P low spender crowd, you want to squeeze out as much value as you can from any of your champs, let alone a legendary champ, let alone a guaranteed legendary champ that you spent 15 sacred shards on, yeah? So this build is actually compatible with basically any content in the game. Doom Tower is good. It's gonna be good, obviously, in dungeons. It can solo. If you want it faster, you can put a wave clear team there. You know, like she could be your insurance for certain dungeons. She's great in Hydra because healers are always good in Hydra. She has an AoE A1, which is amazing in Hydra as well. So like, the point here is that when you're in a more grindy mindset, you're trying to like squeeze out as much value as you can from whatever resources you have available to you. And it's so weird because I was like, oh, this kind of like makes me rethink about how I see content creator content these days. It's not that I'm bagging on any of them, of course. A lot of what I've done in the game, I would probably attribute, if I were to pick a content creator that I would attribute my progress to the most, it would be Stu Gaming. He would, contrary to popular belief, Stu has the best F2P content in the content creator space. And people are like, oh my god, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Stu has this crazy great haul. Well, that's what they told me. That's what they told me when I tried to finish Spiders 20 before Syl was out. This was like the month Syl came out, or a few months after before Syl came out. And I was trying to finish Spiders 20. So Spiders 20 was this big deal back then because it was such a gated content. And I was telling people that, oh, I'm going to finish Spiders 20 without Cold Heart, without Miscreated Monster, without Valkyrie, without Royal Guard, Septimus, you know what I'm saying? Even though I did have Royal Guard and Septimus and Dracomorph at the time. But I chose not to do it because I wanted a challenge. I wanted to see how far I can push the F2P concept, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I play all my freemium games anyway. I play them F2P or low spender, and I kind of like push the content as far as I can take it. And I did it. I got Arbiter without any legendaries, without any of those meta champs at the time. And the person that actually inspired me to do it was none other than Stu Gaming himself, because he was the only content creator that put out a Spiders 20 video that didn't have legendaries and didn't have Cold Heart. Now, I didn't copy his team. I didn't have Tyrell. I think Tyrell was a big part of that team that I didn't have at the time that he put that video out. I forgot the rest of the team. But it didn't have no AoE HP burn either. So if you're thinking it was AoE HP burn, it wasn't. It was just spamming War Master over and over again until I got the kill the spider. And it was like a 20% success rate, but it was enough to get me Arbiter. Because I just wanted to get Arbiter. I farmed stage 16 that time. So, you know, I feel like even though I don't have access to the source code, right? The way I approach the game is kind of like a 90s, early 2000s video game guy. And I'm not talking about like a content creator video game guy, but like a video game player. And you're playing this game and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the guide? How do I get through the content, you know? And you have to figure out the rules, right? That's how Raid is. So if you look at the Dragon Boss sub-menu, you're like, what does this even mean? Like, Scorch does big damage. What does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something you just have to find out on your own. And there's never been a situation where figuring out how Scorch works, you know, was important, because we already know how to beat Dragon. I mean, at this point in the game, everybody knows how to beat Dragon, right? You just put poisons on and that's it. And blasting him through with the poisons actually shortened the fight so much that you never really saw Scorch deal over 100% HP. So I have a feeling it has something to do with rounding of the HP up. So there are situations where the right HP number will get you to probably exactly 1 HP after the 4th Scorch or the 5th Scorch or whatever the 100% number is on that attack. So I figured I'd go around it with a Blood Shield artifact. Revenge is great. You can have Revenge on. That's pretty cool. Like I said, the stats. It's so funny because everybody is like so fixated on the stats. Like the stats don't have some kind of range. The stat is very rangy. As long as you can get through the waves, I feel like it's gonna finish the run. I don't know. That's what I feel like because Wythir's A1 applies continuous heal over and over again. So the way I do it is I lock out her other skills. Actually, I don't even let her do A2 or A3 for the solo runs, and I just have her do A1 over and over again. I think it'll do the run faster. The only downside to using her as a solo champ, obviously, her animations are hecka slow, and you're gonna have to slog through some time in order to get her through. But yeah, that is the crazy story behind the true solo guide to Wythir. So, I'm just gonna pick up where Stu Gaming left off about like how you run her in Ice Golem 25. You just take War Master out the equation. That kind of like makes the run a lot safer. You can finish it with War Master on. It just runs into the risk of triggering the slam more often than just straight putting poisons on, and you're just kind of like pink, 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 poison, 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 and you're just slowly whittling away. And there's kind of no way that the Ice Golem crew can kill you if you have 300 resist-ish, and plus the aura. So, I'm not sure. I think the number is 320. I've heard that the number is 320. That's the safe number. But whatever, shoot for as close to 300 as you can, and then put her as the lead. You get the resist aura, so you're over 300. I think that's pretty much it. So, like I said, resist isn't as important in Dragons 25 anyway. If you have any questions about like how I did the Wythir solo or whatever, you can post here. You can talk to me on Reddit. I always reply to all my DMs on Reddit, and I always reply to all my comments here. Yeah, if you found this useful at all, if you thought that had value, like and subscribe, and I'll see you around. And I'll be doing Champ Chase tomorrow, and then I still need to finish the Filja video and the Scylla the Drakes video for this month's update. So we'll see y'all next time, yeah?